Let's get back to this UAW strike with our next guest, Harry Wilson, Chairman and CEO of MAEVA Group. He's previously the senior member of President Obama's task force. Harry, it's good to see you this morning. You make some points we want to talk about here. Welcome. Good. How are you?
Great to be with you.
Been a while. We keep hearing, we heard Shawn Fain the other day, minimize the effect of what actually labor costs are in relation to an automaker's overall income statement, or whatever you want to look at, with 7%, 8%, 9%, I forget what it was. You point out that that is very misleading because of the way things work. It's such a low margin business that a raise like this, free cash flow could be decimated. So the company could never basically have a hard time innovating or investing.
Yeah, look, I think the most important thing that comes out of this process, however it gets resolved, is to make sure the companies have a sustainable framework for long-term success, which is what we created back in 2009. And that involves a number of things, but part of it is the ability to invest in research, innovation, and growth and development. That's good for the companies. It's good for the workers. And what happened in the past that led to the failures of General Motors and Chrysler in 2009 was because they had uncompetitive deals, not just on labor, but across the board, made bad product decisions. And as a result, didn't make that investment and ultimately failed because they weren't able to compete long term. And so to me, the real focus needs to be on that same shared sacrifice, shared success that we established in 2009 that held for more than a decade. And because of the record inflation we just went through, increases in auto prices and profits, and the old collective bargaining agreement, that was violated in the last few years. And that now we're playing catch up. So creating a deal that allows for addressing that with significant wage increases, significant ratification bonuses, but keeping that in a sustainable framework to still allow for long-term success through investment, that's the balance that needs to be struck by both sides.
Yeah, I was only giving you one side of the coin. I was going to get to what you just highlighted, and that is that you did reach an agreement that was necessary, which was a long time ago now, even though it doesn't seem like that long ago, of shared sacrifice and shared profits. But I don't know if the agreement's been breached, but certainly the workers got the short end of the stick in recent years because their wage increases didn't keep up with what nobody knew we were going to have inflation this high. But they've got a legitimate beef. So as you point out, there's got to be a middle ground here. I don't know if it's 40%. Yeah. What is your solution? What would bring them into? What would make it fair? And I hate using the term fair because it's in the eye of the beholder, but what would make it fair to rectify that their wages have not kept up in the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think that violation of that shared sacrifice, shared success wasn't intentional. It was because of the collective bargaining agreement. The last one was negotiated pre-pandemic, and no one anticipated the inflation we've been through. And so the question is, given what's happened and given the outlook over the next 5 years, which is what this agreement before, what's fair to address that? And if you look at just the compounding of inflation from the last 2019, when the last agreement began, through today. And then even if you assume a normalized inflation going forward, which I think is more likely than not, that ends up being 30% above where they are today over that period of time. And so you can look at that as, I think, fair. It allows workers to keep up with inflation. Ends up being a significant increase. The numbers we're talking about, whether it's the 18 to 20% currently being offered by the big three or the 40+% has been asked for by the UAW, they are over 5 years, and they do reflect a catch-up period. So I think the way to address that is to have something more significant that's being offered today, have a significant ratification bonus that's effectively a catch-up payment for inflation, and focus on that, which is great for workers, but doesn't hamstring the companies going forward, and to say a hard no to the things that basically repeat the lessons of the past. Things like the job bank, things like 32-hour work week, things like retiree medical that bankrupted the companies going into 2009 and which fundamentally don't help workers today and hurt the productivity and long-term success and viability of the automakers.
Hey, Harry, has anybody called you and asked you to get involved? Because what you just laid out sounds like it makes an awful lot of sense. The idea that you think a 30% pay raise is fair because of what they've given up in the past and what they've lost because of inflation, but these other issues are the legacy issues that would drag the companies down. Has anybody called you from either side of the table on this?
I've had a number of calls from folks involved in one way or another, but I'm not involved in any capacity. I've got my hands full with my day job. I think I've done, I don't know how many dozens and dozens of labor negotiations over the years. And I think it's really important to think about things on a principled framework rather than just a quick bargaining. What's happened here, Shawn Fain is totally outsmarted the big three leadership, in my opinion. He has got a deliberate, thoughtful strategy. He's done a great job marshaling his rhetoric and support, even though it came through in a very narrow win in his elections a few months ago. He got out ahead of it. And the leadership of the big three really made a massive mistake by starting so small. They started off at 7-8% over 5 years. That doesn't match inflation pre-pandemic, much less address for the issues. So that was inflammatory, and I think, frankly, played into his hands a bit. And can't blame him for that. He's trying to get the best deal for his people he can get. And so that's why we're here. If they had started off in a much more meaningful place in the first place and established those clear principles of, something that addresses the problems workers have faced because of inflation, but also preserves long-term competitiveness, I don't think we'd be in this place. I don't know that we'd avoid a strike because I think there's still a big gap, but I don't think we'd be in this place. And I'm worried that both sides, on the one hand, the leadership of the big three has to be realistic on these issues. And on the other hand, Mr. Fain can't overplay his hand because that could lead to a really bad problem for both sides.